Ford hopes to have an electric vehicle up and running by late 2010. An electric vehicle this year. It's just one of many car makers are bringing electric cars to market within the next year or so. What does this mean for lithium demand? We're joined now by Todd Hilditch. He's CEO of Solaris Lithium, a Vancouver-based company which just announced a merger with a major Australian lithium producer, Talison Minerals, and apparently this is going to create the world's largest lithium production company. Thanks very much for joining us, Todd.
Andrew, thanks for having me.
So Todd, you're a venture-listed company. You have prospective lithium-producing flats in Chile, or brine, but you're merging with this company that already has pretty big production. But can I just ask you about the stock, first off? LET on the venture, you've been halted since this merger was announced.
We've been halted since the deal was announced and subject to 43101 being filed and updated on behalf of Talison and some other filings with the TSX venture. Once those are made, we would come back trading, I suspect, sometime in the next week to two.
Excellent. So can you just run through the deal very quickly for us, if you would?
Sure. And from a Canadian public company perspective, we think we've delivered great value to our shareholders. We've also, as you just mentioned, the combined company will be the only pure-play lithium production company that's publicly traded in the world. And to deliver that to our shareholders, both present and future, we thought was demonstrable. The value associated with the combination of the two businesses is demonstrable. Talison is the world's largest producer of lithium based on last year's sales volumes. They have room for growth at their Greenbushes project in Australia. They've got excellent management team. Peter Oliver and his crew have been producing for 25 years. They know how to get lithium out of the rock. They have the expertise. And from a junior standpoint, from a management standpoint, I should say, we always knew that as a junior we were going to need technical expertise to help move the project along. So merging with the world's largest was the first step. But this is a growth story, and Talison has great plans of going forward for the next 20, 30, 40 years, and adding our extensive brine lake project in Chile adds to that opportunity for exploration and future production down the road.
We're hearing that Talison currently delivers 2/3 of the lithium consumed in China. That sounds pretty big.
They are very big. The customer base that Talison has developed through the relationships over the past 25 years is extensive. They have over 250 customers, and a good chunk of that is in China. So they've done an excellent job of working within the Chinese infrastructure to build those relationships.
Now, you guys, you have these salt deposits, these brine deposits in Chile. That's your asset at Solaris. Can you tell us about those?
Sure. We're very fortunate because the local partner in Chile that we work with in the deal that we announced basically a year ago to become a lithium exploration company, we have up to 70% interest in 7 salars, of which 5% are wholly owned with our Chilean partner. That means we have no competition on these lakes. And very similar to the oil business, Andrew, as you'd understand, in an oil pool there's unitization. In our case, we're very fortunate because we have 100% ownership, and I think that's one of the reasons why Talison was very keen to work with us, because we have not just 1, 2, we have up to 5 potential projects in a pipeline for future development.
Just looking at lithium demand, the electric cars that we're seeing coming on the market, will they be a big factor in growth in demand?
We think they are the factor. Unless you think that the electric vehicle movement is going to disappear, or iPods, iPads, BlackBerry cell phones, the battery technology side, unless you think that's going to disappear, we feel pretty strongly about the growth going forward. But that's a very good question, because I can give you the information that some of the research companies have out, and that's 6% growth from compound annually from here through 2020. And at 6% growth, we would have to double production in the worldwide production to over 200,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent. And if you were to take it to 9% growth, which we've heard everything up to 15, but at 9% growth, that's a triple from where we are today. So we believe the growth is there. The Chinese government has announced that by the end of 2011 they want 5% of the vehicles in China to be produced under new energy. Just that stat alone will bring you 600,000 new vehicles. So there's lots of movement. The Obama administration, some of the battery plants that are being built now and fast-tracked. So we don't believe this electrification is going anywhere but upwards.
It's a fascinating story. Todd, thanks very much indeed for joining us.